I used to work at this natural health and herbal remedy shop, and sometimes people would come in with like this insane anxiety, and when it was just me there, I would kind of like run them through. I would use them as test subjects, not really, but like sometimes when people were like really having anxiety and we're trying to get like a supplement to stop it immediately, like of course I would give them whatever it was they were looking for, like lemon balm or Angio-Calm, all those things. But I would also run them through like a 3-minute practice just to like chill them out a bit, and I found it to be ridiculously powerful. So let me just run you through it real quick. What I realized was that a lot of anxiety stems from the non-specificity that we have with it. So like when we cannot name what it is, it becomes more and more dangerous. So what I would have them do is I would have them like stay still for a second. I would have them like take some breaths, some deep breaths, relax, and then I would ask them, I would say, all right, so what is it exactly you're feeling? And they would not really be able to describe it, right? I said, okay, if you could give a color to what it is you're feeling, what would you do? And usually they would say like black or brown or red. I would say, okay, if you could give a texture to it, what is the texture of this feeling? And usually it was like rubbery or like glue, almost like sticky. Okay, now where does this physically feel as if it is in your body? Like if this feeling was to occupy a space, it's brown and it's gooey, where is it in your body? And you know, a lot of times they would say like your heart or like up here in your chest, usually, sometimes in the stomach, sometimes like in the bladder, like usually somewhere like from here to here. Say, okay. Now, in your body, where do you find like, where in your body do you feel the most power? Where does your power come from? And they would like sit there like, what? Sometimes they would say shoulders, sometimes they would say thighs. And I'll say, okay, like whatever this power is, right? Can you give it a color? And can you give it a texture? What color is it? And usually they would say something like, it's lighter, like it's gold, or it's silver, or it's metallic. Can you give it a texture? Usually it would be airy and like piercing. It's okay. And so it's gold and it's airy and it's piercing in your shoulders. What direction does it have? And usually they would say like outwards. It's like pushing, it's strength, it's outwards. So okay, what direction does that feeling of anxiety? And usually they would say it's pushing inwards. So okay. So what I want you to do now is I want you to see that you have these two forces, right? You have these two forces, you have your power, and you have this feeling. I want you to use this gold, airy power in your shoulders to push off this anxiety, this brown, gooey, liquid stuff on your heart. I want you to push it off. I want you to just use it and let it go. And they would sit there and they would do it. And as they started to like do it, they would like start to relax more and more. Also, how do you feel as you push it off with it? How do you feel as you use the strength to overcome this anxiety? And they would be like, I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to feel better. And usually by the end of it, they would be like, okay, I'm feeling like a lot better. I'll say, okay, now what exactly was that anxiety? Like what exactly was that substance? And they would be able to name exactly what it was that was causing the anxiety. And so after that I said, okay, so now you know exactly what it is, right? So now anytime that you have this exact feeling, you can attribute this exact substance to it, and you know exactly the force that you're able to overcome it with, right? Like, yeah. And yeah, that's the strategy. So turns out that a lot of our like stress and anxiety and stuff comes from the inability to understand the nature of what we're dealing with, the inability to bring a name to it. So a lot of times you have to bring these other more abstract things to it, like color and texture. And it's not even more abstract. This is how we understand the energy of it, and then we can actually release on it when we get clear, like, okay, this is where it's sitting. Now I can give a name to it, then I can let it go. So maybe that helps you. Hopefully it does. Maybe this is why I got fired as well. No, it wasn't why. It wasn't why. It was, I actually had like a lot of people come back over the year to do this with me. So hopefully this helps you.